New England QSO Party is something that started up in 2002 as a way to get people on the air, basically. When I was early years, when I was a director, one of the things we did was make sure that clubs could get lists of new hams in their area. And I see you're still getting them and still using them, which is absolutely great. And we called that Get on the Air process to make sure clubs could interact with new hams in their area. That turned into a category in Field Day called the Get on the Air Station, GOTA. And that has helped a whole lot of people get experience on the air, putting together a station, having them enter nearby to help make their first few QSOs perhaps, or the first in many years. This New England QSO Party kind of falls into the same category in my mind, which is it's really important that new hams find a way to get on the air and that we help them in different ways. I mean, you guys are doing a lot of different things to facilitate that, and I think it's great, but a lot of clubs don't. So New England QSO Party was designed as a kind of a low pressure on the air activity where the rest of the world, the rest of the country, focuses on talking to people in New England. So we try to get stations on from every county in New England. There's 68 different ones. Some are much smaller than others. Middlesex County, which is where we are now, is probably the busiest one. Close to Rochester, I think, in Rockingham, in New Hampshire. But we get a lot of people on the air. Some of the small counties in northern New Hampshire and Vermont and Maine might have less than 50 hams. So it's much harder to get them on the air. So we encourage people to go mobile. I used to ride in my VW with my wife driving, with a couple of whip antennas on the back and a 100-watt radio and go from county to county, putting them on the air on 20 and 40 meters. And there's still about a dozen or more people that do that every year now. Last year, there were actually 3 logs that came in from this club. Bruce had the biggest score, but he was running high power, and KK1X came in, and K1JEB, who was over there, sent in a log. And it's weird because I looked at that call and I thought he was in Connecticut. Oh, it's K0JEB also sent in a log. So I bet the two of them have never talked. But in any case, the idea is if people are focusing on talking to New England because they might need, to work in a new state, or they might be interested in working counties or whatever, you become very popular if you get on the air during the New England QSO Party. The first few might be difficult, but you might find out if you make one QSO, you have 5 more people calling you. And that can be intimidating too. But so you'll learn how to deal with multiple people calling, or you can just go up and down the band and listen for different stations and work them at your own pace. It's also a contest where the people that are really good at talking fast or doing Morse code fast will also slow down for you. They know that there's a lot of beginners that get involved in the different state QSO parties. And there's actually one for almost every part of the country. There's even an organization that keeps track of how many QSO parties people participate in. The weekend after this one is the Florida QSO Party. If you get on the air, you can hear a zillion stations from Florida to work, and you might be able to work all the counties. The weekend after that, the first weekend of May, is the New England QSO Party. And as Bruce mentioned, it goes Saturday afternoon through Sunday evening. We deliberately start it after Nearfest ends, actually.
But there's also, Tom, a break. You don't have to be up all night or any of those kinds of things.
Yeah, there's a break from 1 a.m. till 9 a.m. 9 a.m.
No, 9 to 4. 9 to 4 in Saturday. and 8 in the morning or 6 in the morning to about.
No, it goes. It's 4 o'clock till after midnight, and then there's I call it a civilized 9-hour break, and that works good. So please, take the time to get on the air. What?
This is not a contest. It's just a party where people get on and you exchange your call, your signal report, and your county. Those are the only three things, and you try to explain to people where you are, what's going on. For example, in New Hampshire, there are only 10 counties, and people are county hunters. Yep. Whereas I think New England has 112 or 120 different counties. So people are looking for those counties this weekend.
Yep. So I hope to hear more of you on. I would, what I tell every club is see if you can get at least 5 entries. You had 3 last year, maybe 5 would be possible. You can probably do more than that. I know Mary's going to be active. So, the information is on our website. It's www.neqp.org. And so rules are there and articles from the last 20 years and a bunch of information about which counties are easy to find and which ones are hard. Actually, 2 of the hardest counties are from Massachusetts. Can you guess which ones?
Dukes and Nantucket, right?
That's the 2, Dukes and Nantucket. We usually get a couple people on from each one, but none of them make hundreds of contacts. So they're difficult. And it's also difficult because most of the signals more than 100 miles away will skip over you and you won't hear them. So it's pretty interesting that you start to pay attention to the different participation that you hear. The folks that are south of us, like from Virginia south to Florida, usually have the best signals into New England because it's north-south. The ones farther to the west are often harder to work, particularly if solar activity is high. It can be difficult sometimes. But anyhow, thanks for listening to me. I appreciate it. And see you on the air.